Hello, everyone. Named Jaleesa, JJ Movie TV Social Games, everybody. Right now, I want to give you the original season 3, episode 19, No More Heartbreaks. And this episode of the originals was very heartbreaking. Cammy is dead. They officially killed off Cammy. And I was a little. I know a lot of people are like, oh, yeah, she's finally dead. But here's the thing. What I always liked Cammy's death, she had a very human aspect of her character. Even when she turned into a vampire, there was still so much human in Camille. And when she died, she had the best send off you could possibly have. To me, of all Vampire Diaries original characters for their deaths, she got a final goodbye with Klaus. For once, Klaus had to write down her shit, what she was writing. And I like her little jokes of how I should have wrote Klaus's memoirs. I would have made a fortune. And I just love this dynamic between Camille and Klaus right there. And shows how much Klaus has grown to love Camille and how he's grown as a person. Because if you look at it, when was the last time you see Klaus interact with not just a human, but with anybody in general like this? And people say, oh, Caroline and Klaus, Caroline and Klaus. Here's the thing. I enjoy Caroline and Klaus together, but I'm not the greatest, biggest fan of them. I mean, Caroline had to grow up her own sense. She's going to grow up and later on, she's going to change a lot more. Like how she's changed right now when she had kids. Caroline back then was Caroline the teenager. This one Caroline now, how she is, she's an adult. And that's what I prefer. But Camille was a full-fledged adult into this world of the supernatural world, and I just love her connection with Klaus. I just love every interaction they have, moments of each other, of Klaus swearing, like, hey, you're not going to be forgotten. He's like, you ain't going to die, you ain't going to die. I'll tell you I love you tomorrow, and all that stuff, but she does die. And Camille had this great little moments of humanity of how she's actually scared again. She was trying to put up a brave front, trying to tell Klaus, like, do good for your daughter. Be the light in her life. Be the light for your little girl. And maybe Klaus will change that. This is the season where we're probably going to see the beginning of Klaus is going to totally change into a different person. And not just with the depths of his brother Finn, but also with Camille. This would totally change Klaus as a character and for his daughter, for the future. And I liked how the last words like Cammy says to Klaus, like Klaus says to her, you'll never be forgotten, and since he's forever living, and since she'll never be gone, then she says, I guess that makes me immortal, and that's a beautiful connection right there. Camille and Klaus's ending, it was her days numbered, yes, because of the wolf bite, and that's this tragic story of any originals who's in love with a woman. It's just, or in love with anybody, that they lose them. And to have Klaus lose Camille was very heartbreaking, very sad. Granted, she died earlier this season, but she got turned into a vampire. But overall, this is a great send-off to Camille. We get that Lucian is still pissed at Klaus for stealing his girl Aurora, but I think Lucian's more pissed off that he's still in love with Aurora, and he hates the idea of this needy for love. I think that's what Lucian is pissed off at. Another thing. Cole kills Davina. The bloodlust went into his thing, and she stabbed him in this episode. She daggered him because he told her to. And I thought the prophecy was fulfilled because Elijah stabbed Rebecca, one by family. Finn was taken down by Lucian, one by foe, and one by friend, which is Davina and Cole. And Davina stabbed Cole. But at the end, the ancestors do the most horriblest thing. They take out the dagger out of Cole, knowing he's getting bloodthirsty, and then he kills Davina because he has no control over his bloodlust. Davina dies, and he says, Davina to Davina. And it's just very heartbreaking. And again, I've been saying this for long. The ancestors are the biggest hypocritical supernatural pieces of shit in the originals and the Vampire Diaries series. Because the ancestors all were the balance of nature, but they're just as corrupt as vampires. They've always been corrupt. And the fact that Davina's not dead, but more like the next episode, we're going to see Marcel's dreading, like, we're going to bring her back, so maybe she will come back. And I'm hoping she will, but will she will she be a human, witch, vampire? What will she be? Will she be a ghost like how Anna was with Jeremy in season 3 of the Vampire Diaries? Who knows, but for this episode, No More Heartbreaks, this was full of a lot of heartbreaks, and that's the ironic and beautiful thing about this title of this episode. And Freya and Vincent both vowed to stop Lucian. I mean, this whole family has vowed to stop no more deaths, for no more stuff that's going to happen. And I cannot wait for next episode of the originals. And overall, what a fantastic episode. For the originals, season 3, episode 19, No More Heartbreaks, a fantastic episode. of the originals, and yeah, pretty dang solid episode as well. So yeah, everyone, subscribe if you like the screen down the bottom, leave a comment down below, let me know, respect my parent, respect yours. Let me know what y'all think of one of this fantastic episode by the originals. Maybe you can make my top 4 episodes this year, but overall, what a fantastic episode of original. Named Jalise, signing off, with everybody. Bye bye.